Hi Juan, hope you're doing good on your vacation, man. I'm just sending out a little video review for you so you can refresh yourself on some of the stuff we've been working on. Now I know we've been harping really hard on the minor pentatonic position. I'm not going to do too much of a review because you have the first three positions down pretty well. I want you to start looking at positions 4 and 5. I know that can be a little bit hard given that we're using acoustics. It's a little bit hard for us to reach the upper register of the neck. Totally fine. Something that may help you out though is take your starting spot, your root for the minor pentatonic here, which we play in G, and bump it down a whole step, which is 2 frets. So 1, 2. Now all the same positions and shapes apply. Position 1, but this is going to give us a little bit more room. So when we go up to position 4 and 5, you might have some more wiggle room to play with without being completely blocked off from getting up here. So again, just bump it down to an F minor pentatonic scale, and you might be able to have a little bit more room up here. Moving on, I know I talked very briefly with you, I actually referenced it in explaining the minor pentatonic scale. It's the major scale. That's the next one we're going to look at. I don't want to push too hard with it, but I do want you to start looking at maybe just the first position or the first 2. It's very easy in context to remember because it's simply root, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. That repeats itself over and over again. So for our G major scale, root note G right there. However, it's going to start a half step back on the F sharp. We'll start on the 7th here. It's going to go like this. 7, root, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, root, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, root, 2nd. Just like that. Refer to the sheet I gave you if you need to. You can also email it if you need. Just ask me. Okay. So if you can bump up, you can look at the second position. Not super worried about it, but if you want to kind of get ahead of the game, please feel free. Moving on, we looked at That's Entertainment by The Jam, okay? It's a pretty fun song, but remember that it used a capo. You might not have a capo yet, but that doesn't mean you can't practice these chord shapes at least, right? So those chord shapes, there's some funky ones in this song that we kind of looked at. I know for sure there's a G. We know that one pretty easy. Nothing too hard there, right? But then there was an E minor 7th. So to make the E minor 7th, simply make your E minor. And then we're going to put the pinky down on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, the B string. Just like that. Okay? We had another funky chord in there, which was the A minor 7th. So what I want you to do is make your A minor like this, and simply lift up your ring finger. That is our A minor 7th right there. Sounds very nice. Another funky chord we looked at was the F minor 7 over C. Now these get a little bit weird anytime you see a chord over a chord, but that's okay. We're going to look at it together. Remember, I think I wrote it out for you. We start with our ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. And then we're going to take our index finger and bar it over the rest of the strings on the 1st fret. It's going to sound like this. A little bit weird. But practice that and really work on that bar finger. I know it's going to be hard and challenging for you, but this is going to be a really good strengthening exercise. Another thing we looked at with this song was the strumming pattern. It's a little bit weird, a little bit difficult because it's a little bit fast for us. I'm not going to really do it in this video, but all I want you to do is really listen to that song a lot. Get that rhythm ingrained in your head, so for next week when you come in, we can kind of break it apart a little bit more and start applying the chord transitions. Now, if you're feeling confident, start using those chords we just talked about, and use that rhythm of the song for your chord transitions. And even if it's not the exact order of the chords in the song, that's okay. We're just getting used to moving our hands to these weird shapes. All right, Juan, that's all I have for you this week, my man. Hope you're enjoying yourself, and I'll see you next week. Bye, brother.